Somebody, how you feeling? Oh yeah.
My name is Marley, aka Maestro, aka Biggs, aka Most Dangerous. Welcome to Plum TV. We're gonna talk to you for a little bit.
And if I style me, I'm a stock at them. Bitches me have a whole flock at them, ready to make it pop again. Reload and get it out again. Them stand up and tell them me out again. From every privet and angle, they attack at them.
You know, for me, my growing up, my early years, you know what I mean, I grew up in a very humbling situation.
Born in Jamaica, raised in the county, you're dead, food for the savior. Cause get paid.
You know what I mean? You know, I say it all the time, there's a lot of people here, the last name Marley and automatically assume because my dad was the king of reggae, I had the silver spoon. I didn't even have a wooden spoon. But, you know, so for me, it was a very humbling experience. You know, I think growing up for me, at sometimes I was a little bitter because I knew, you know, where I was coming from, what my legacy is, and you know, what surrounds me. But, you know, I think it really helped to build my character. And I think that's what put me in the place where I believe and I do know that all men are created equal. You know, because I've been through those stages. I've been where we was in a situation where there's nothing. And I've been to the situation where there's plenty. You know, and the only thing changes in those situations is the finance, nothing else. So for me, you know, it's just people who see it different, they're crazy. You know, point blank, it's simple. There's nothing difficult about this. Yeah.
Squad up, and when you're digging your trenches, so just make sure you dig them deep, yeah. The only way to survive is special time. The homie is to never sleep. You see the fighting out there in Iraq, it's right here on your neighborhood streets. Where little soldiers are just living to die. Welcome to the belly of the beast.
It's definitely a blessing, and you know, it's definitely that double-bladed sword. I hate to say it because, but the fact of the matter is it is. You know, the great part of it is that, you know, from a man looking to a man, not just a father to a son. My father was a very great man. I've been around the world. I've been in some very remote locations where they don't even have running water. But I would see somebody come out with a Bob Marley memorabilia, and that's special. You know, that's very special.
Respect it and check it, it's outside by my slang. Ain't gonna stop until the entire world is mad. My coalition is firm, don't you be concerned.
You know, so for me, just to be a part of this legacy, to be a part of this lineage is an honor. You know, and then the other side of the sword is that, you know, a lot of times it do open some doors. But it opened doors in a way where it's almost opening like, okay, come and I'm gonna let you do what is it I expect you to do because you're your father's son. And not come be you and let me accept you for you. There's little things like that, and then, you know, a lot of times people think that, you know, you don't deserve a chance or you don't deserve this break because you've had it all. And that's not necessarily so. Yeah.
I'm fighting to survive with seeds of my own. Teach them lessons they need to know for when they get grown. Say, son, you stay far from snitches. Get a good girl, boy, keep far from and keep your focus with your eye on the prize. Will it rise against the righteous, so be it a million die. You can't say I never told you, boy. KY, the one and only soldier, boy.
You know, my career as a musician started kind of unexpectedly because it wasn't nothing that I intend to do. Actually, how I started my career was I was playing around at a friend's house in the garage. He had a little sound system. And I used to go there on the weekends because he used to play out and, you know, just mess around before he go out and play. And I remember there was a producer that came through on this one particular day that actually used to produce my father. And I was in there playing around and he said to me, you know, you have a nice tone. He said, your tone is very nice. You know, you should give it a shot. He said, you're here playing around, but you should really try. You should really give it a shot and see what happened. So I started, his name is Carl Peterson. So I started recording with him, you know, over the weeks, a weekend here, a weekend there, still just playing around. And then shortly after that, I was offered my first contract, and still at this moment, I didn't take it seriously. It wasn't like, okay, well, this is what I'm gonna do. It was like, all right, I'm gonna take this bus ride and see where it goes. So I did a song called Dear Dad. And when it became a reality to me, I was backstage one time before I went on stage, and this young man came up to me. He was about my age. And he came up to me and he said, you know, he lost his father maybe 2 months ago, and that was the only thing he had left. He said he was at the point where he was contemplating committing suicide. Something said to press play on his CD player, and he pressed play and it was Dear Dad. And this is a grown man in front of me crying that it brought me to tears. You know, and at that point, I knew that, okay, you have something here. There are people out there that almost like they're depending on you. You know, your word is soothing. So at that point, you know, I took it on to myself that, well, if I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna have to be serious about it. I have to be true to myself because I can't come and try to replicate what my dad already did. And a lot of people, that's what they expect. So, you know, at first, my whole thing was this, I'm being true to myself, and at some point, you don't have to like me, but you're gonna have to accept me. And that's where we at.
One time for all my warriors, my heat carriers, and all my buffalo. Let's go. One time for all my warriors, my last smuggler. One time for all my warriors, my heat carriers, and all my buffalo. It's a fool, you must be crazy. What is it you trying to do? You cannot face me. I've been smoking on a pound and feeling hazy.